To me, a canvas is anything. It can be blank, it can already have stuff on it. A lot of times it's my skateboard or just a piece of paper. Yeah, my dad is a freelance illustrator. Yeah, he had a studio in our house growing up, so it was a very normal thing to be doing art projects. Our whole family was like really creative, so there was always something to mess around with or kind of create with. I think the influence that my dad has on my art is probably just to always be doing it and to be kind of experimenting and not necessarily be worried about what other people are thinking, because it's one of those things where I think a lot of people don't do things because they're afraid or they're worried that someone will have an opinion about it, and I could have made the ugliest thing and he would have been like, oh, that's awesome, like that's really cool. So I think having that type of encouragement in anything that you do is extremely important, and it also lets people, like especially somebody like myself, find other paths of like artistic expression. That's kind of also how I found skateboarding or surfing, or really cool to have someone who is encouraging of that like creative mind. Honestly, I think one of my preferred mediums to do art is probably grip tape, just because it's quick. I don't get too anal about it. I can mess it up and still make it kind of cool. I only have to look down at it for a couple weeks or whatnot. It's kind of just a really fast and easy way to make something that like I feel good about. But other than that, just like my sketchbook or working on smaller canvases. I think I started using grip tape as a canvas for the first time when I was probably like 13. I think it was more that it was plain that I wanted to draw on the grip. Like it's like the process of setting up a skateboard, it can be really, really fun. And I love doing it, and so I think it was tied in with that, where it's just another part of the process that's enjoyable. Yeah, it's always been a good grip that holds up, especially as I add like layers of paint to it. That was always like a really important thing, because you can get grip tape that doesn't have as much of a texture, and I feel like every time you add like a layer of paint to it, it like fills in the little granules, and then you get like more of a smooth, you don't get the traction that you want. So Mom's always been good because it kind of like absorbs the paint. Yeah, I mean, I would rather it be more difficult to paint on but still maintain like the proper like grip tape feel than to let it kind of like get all soft. I definitely use kind of everything on grip, besides like paper and glue. I use a ton of stuff. So I use like paint markers, acrylic, spray paint, super fun because you can do like very fine layers but kind of cover a lot. I really like doing, like trying to get as small of a line too as I can get. Or sometimes I'll just, like my paint pen will explode and make kind of a mess, but even that's like a happy accident, so putting paint everywhere. Also cutting it up and then using clear grip for like collages underneath is fun. Growing up and reading like a lot of Beatrix Potter and a lot of like Shel Silverstein, I was very drawn to kind of like landscape of art where you have these people who are storybook creators and they make, you know, the cutest little creatures like come to life, but they also have their background in the fine arts and stuff. And I think that, yeah, I was really just like drawn to those unique styles, and it still gives me this like really like sense of nostalgia. And so I kind of wanted to, like my art to do that for other people. And yeah, I think just subconsciously it's like you follow these artists, or my dad's art, for instance, is definitely very storybook-like in a lot of ways. And yeah, you just kind of unintentionally draw from that, and then just kind of happened organically. Like once I stopped trying to have my own style, that's when it happened.
Oh hey, I didn't see you there. Click here for more videos from Mob.